Okay, so this is starting of a new painting. And I'm just doing the scaling. And this is the whole operation. So I'm going to have eels chasing triggerfish. I kind of have an affection to triggerfish these days lately. So this is the beginning steps. I'm not going to show you the paperwork because it's just all of drawing and trying to make sense of this. So here it is, just for a reference. And this is actually the beginning steps of this fish. There are a lot more detail coming. Okay, so this is just the preliminary kind of outline. So this is another aspect. You know, this doesn't have any detail except for the outlines, and I'm just going to go through that fairly quick. And I'm just circling, I think I need one there, where these white areas are. And then come back in and continue. Now there's no detail on these yet. This is just the preliminary. And I'm going to probably stop it because there's no need for you to see. Let me complete the whole thing. Okay, so this is the eel. Now, this is probably really difficult, and I don't know if I can show the whole process on this because it's just layers and layers and putting some in, taking some out, blending, but it's me looking at her, I guess I'll call her. Now, it's my idea of darks and lights, what makes sense to me. You know, highlights, maybe there's a little bit of a shadow on the bottom, and this is layers upon layers. So this is almost impossible to teach. I could show you what I'm doing, but I'm thinking as I'm going to make sure it kind of looks right. Now, everybody may have their own interpretation of how to do this, and that's fine. But the layers that I'll put on this, and you can see that they're kind of just random stuff right now, and I'll go back in slowly and find little teeny things that may make sense to me. So if I come in here, now I'm just kind of laying some textures. Now this is the mouth part, so that'll take a lot more detail. And come in with some darker umbers in the bottom, and I'll probably put a reflect light on the bottom. The skin is not very smooth. It has a lot of bumps and lumps and textures, and I'll need to go with that and figure out where that will be needed. And you can see I'm just going random little areas. Now my technique is the same technique, pretty much what I use for acrylics. So it's just I'm able to do it with watercolors now. It's not easy. I'll have to put that up front. It's layers, looking for little tiny things. My poor girl is having trouble. So now I'm just going to come in here and slowly pull out some little teeny highlights, just to give it little highlights, adding more texture. And this is something I can't really teach. I teach my 8th grade students, it would be the foundation, so about 20, 30 less levels than I'm showing right now. It would be, I could show them how to do lights and darks on a more eel or anything like that. And that's as much as most of them can deal with. I always have an advanced student here or there that will understand what I'm doing, and I will take them a little further on. So now I'm going to come in here with a little bit of a reflect light. So I'm going to be pulling out. Now, I have to stress upon the fact what you are seeing right now and the colors you are seeing don't look anything like what's on my canvas and my board. I see it as I'm working on it, and I'm looking at it as it's being projected onto the camera. And when I see it blown up, everything looks completely different. But you know, it's like if you see a painting from somebody you like in a museum, you've seen it in a book. It's a whole different experience when you see it in person. Things are more vibrant. You see textures, little things that pop out that can't be seen in a book or even a movie of the painting or drawing. So anyway, so this is the process. And you can see I could spend, you know, hours, more than maybe a day, going back and forth, coming in and out, in and out, in and out. That's just the way I paint. Anyway. Okay, so this is the next adventure. I'm going to come in and zoom in on some detail work, but okay, so this is actually just an idea that popped into my head, and you can see it's rough. Now, this part in here is the destruction of triggerfish. So there's going to be a lot of different things that they've devoured. So I'm not sure exactly what's going to be in there. Came into this a lot more. Green moray still needs a lot more work. I would say this is like foundation. And went into the clownfish, triggerfish. Came into this a whole bunch. I'll have to work the front part of the fish, and you can see there is some pretty good detail. I might just touch it up here and there and pull some highlights out. Kind of getting ready for another eel, and here's the one I'm doing right now. Just going to give you a little heads up. Okay, so this is a tissue paper I use. Now, of course, I make the same thing twice or bigger, or work out the details and then go over it and make another copy. I'm not going to show you all the different papers I use. But this is getting a little long. So I'm just going to do a real quick little heads up. This has a bit of a gray in here, and I'm just going to... Now all these are just foundation colors. There's nothing in here that is straight on there. Just going to go into the eye. Now I may, just going to put a little outline on this. Change things up here a little by little, but just give it another kind of... Okay, I'm just going to show you, I came into this a little bit more, added more detail into this, going to get closer. Still needs a lot more work, but went into the clown triggerfish and added way more detail. And here is the starting of the honeycomb eel. This is still the foundation work. And I just want to show some of the detail. This is about 80–90% done. So it's a fairly decent start. Anyway, so just wanted to give you a little heads up on the next adventure. Hello, I'm Steve Melendrez, a model maker, illustrator, scientific illustrator, sculptor, design after history museum in Los Angeles. Done a lot of different things, but I'm going to be doing watercolor demonstrations of the techniques I've developed over the years, and it's going to go from a lot of different directions. And also I'm going to be doing videos, I call them video posters for my daughter. So a lot of stuff that I can leave to my daughter about her crazy dad. So I'm taking a lot of different directions, but mainly three. So anyway, that's my introduction that I'm going to attach to everything I'm doing now, so I don't have to repeat this. Be careful out there.